morning, everybody. I'm Susan, and this is my channel, Susan's Road Less Traveled. I'm in Alice, the VW today, headed out on a day off to take the bus to the mechanic and have the valves adjusted on my engine, which is a requirement to maintain my warranty on my new build from last year at 1,500 miles. So I'm just like a skosh over that. And this is in an effort to make sure everything's going great, which she's running great, but to prep her for a long distance trip, and that'll be my first long distance trip in her since I've put the new engine in. And oddly, I mean, really the first long distance, like state to state trip that I've ever taken in her in 10 years. I'm going to be heading out of South Carolina to Mississippi, Gulfport area for a few days to visit some family, and then head over towards the Pensacola Beach area to camp for a couple of days. I'm not quite sure what the round trip is on it. I think it's about 1,000 miles. I've just never traversed her. I've always trailered her from one state to another when I've moved. And then New Mexico was probably the most driving that I did in her back in the 2013 to 16 time frame. Put a lot of miles on her there. So I've got my oil. So I am getting the oil changed, which I only have about 1,000 miles on the oil, but while it's in, I'm just going to have him do that and make sure that all of that is good. O'Reilly's does carry the model that I need on the filter, so I'm going to stop there on my way. So I'm giving myself a little bit more time to get on the road and be able to stop by O'Reilly's for that filter. I do have my little mouse, Sissy, with me. If you can see her huddled. It's chilly out today. She's wrapped in a towel. About 40 degrees this morning, hence the fleece jacket. But Alice took about 5 turns to turn over, and she's getting up the hill in 4th gear, so there's that. Partly cloudy day. Sun will probably burn that off, I'm not sure. It's only supposed to go up to about the mid-60s today. But pretty through the hills nonetheless. All the trees are starting to bloom. There's a nice redbud coming up there. This is about an hour later than I'm normally driving down this road when I go to work. So I'm curious as to the traffic, and I think the buses are gone, so that's a good thing. I also have see my breath? Maybe not in the camera. Returning another Amazon purchase, and the last 3 days that I've tried to go into the UPS store to make the return, the line is like, you know, socially distanced to the door, and I don't have the patience. So I figured, well, if I'm out early enough, and I'm meeting him at 9, it's 20 after right now, 20 after 8, so I may not have time before, but I'll do that after too, and I have more time to stand in line today. And then the old town of Seneca is not too far up the road either, so I may go up and walk the little area that they're reviving as a restaurant, antique, artsy type of part of the town, and see what's happening there. But with Sissy, I probably can't go into too many places, though I carry her in anyway. She's a nervous wreck around people. Alright, so I'm back in the bus after leaving the mechanic. I got back a little bit early to kind of see the tail end of him putting things back together and putting the oil in, blah, blah, blah. And one of the issues that he had that he said when he took the valve cover off was that the gasket was stuck to the block because of the paint, because it came installed. The paint that they spray the block with to make it silver and shiny kind of bleeds in, and so that was kind of adhered, and so he had to get all of that cleaned off before putting the new one on. So that was done, and then he helped me make sure my tires look good and helped put air in my spare, which we pulled off because I haven't had it off in years. It was barely low, which is good, but the whole front of the bus is dirty. So I'm gonna get ready to run her through the car wash here and get her nose cleaned off. And then the only other thing that we discussed from a mechanical point of view was the CV boots all around should be replaced. One of them is actually cracked on the rear right, and so I got up under there and looked at it, and so I can understand what's going on there. But anyway, go ahead and try to procure those parts and the grease that I need to replace them from J-Bugs or Bus Depot. So I'll go ahead and take care of that and at least have them. So when I get back, that's something he said he can do fairly quickly. So anyway, she's running great. Just need to keep an eye on the oil, make sure there's no leaks there, and I'm getting ready to run her to the car wash. And Sissy has been a sport and a half over here. A bit of a boring day for a dog there. We did get out and walk the town, and she did great, but very noisy for her walking on the sidewalks of this Main Street area. Train went by and just different things were very noisy. So she's a little timid from that perspective. But after this, I think we're gonna head home and spend the rest of the day off at the house. I may go get some groceries. I want to cook a cheesecake. Do you cook a cheesecake or do you bake a cheesecake? I think I'm gonna bake it. I think that'll be good.